Hello and welcome to the video. So there has been a reason for why I haven't been uploading Might and Magic content recently. It's because I'm currently reading the Might and Magic novel, The Dream Right, and I wish to take my time with that video. So yes, just so that you know that I'm not gonna be switching out on making Might and Magic content. I'm gonna be making more of it, but I am currently reading through The Dream Right. In this video, I'm gonna be diving down into why I am not the biggest fan of Ubisoft's Might and Magic continuity. And I'm not going to be talking about the entire company. I'm just going to be talking about what I feel like they did to the Might and Magic franchise. I feel like there are better videos out there that explains what Ubisoft have done that can also give greater details. I don't really know what is a good transition into the video topic, so I'm just going to start talking about my reasons. So my first reason is because I feel like they just made the setting of the Might and Magic universe just to be way more generic. For example, like in Might and Magic, in the ancient universe or ancient history, the setting for Might and Magic has always been fairly generic, as they took in inspiration from medieval times. They took in things from mythologies, dragons, like the typical fantasy land type tropes. But at least when it comes to the ancient history, they had a bit of like sci-fi elements added to it. Even if I'm not the biggest fan of the sci-fi elements of the ancient history, I could always point out to the sci-fi elements saying that, oh, this is Might and Magic, instead of like generic fantasy. And they just made the setting for the Ubisoft continuity to be just way more generic. I don't really know how I'm gonna be describing it even more, but like, just feel like that they made it more generic by just removing the sci-fi elements, even if I'm not the biggest fan of it. And then I also have like my second reason for why I don't like it. It's because of the blatant fan pandering. Like, holy hell, only the fan favorite characters from the ancient history or the previous timeline made the jump into the Ubisoft continuity because they knew that fanboys would jump on top of that shit. But like, I feel like that one of the things that these characters doesn't do is they don't do anything, and they actively have been ruined, in my opinion. Sandra was like the one who was closest to getting his goal done in the other timeline. What is it he's reduced here? He's reduced to be the mentor of a necromancer who then pretty much takes his place. It's like this character pretty much does the same thing as Sandro, except that Sandro is not the character that he used to be. Pretty much the only thing that I think that Sandro even accomplishes in this timeline is that he discovers void magic. I don't think it's even explained what that even means. Like, I don't even know what that is supposed to. Is that a big deal? Is it not a big deal? Then we also have Crag Hack. Crag Hack is the one that has been the least damaged, in my opinion. Maybe Christian is also less damaged because they actually still have the same character traits for Christian. But like, so we have Crag Hack, who's a pirate going around plundering. It makes a bit sense, since in the other timeline he is a barbarian looking for gold. And like, it works. He actually gets to do stuff that isn't like out of character, but once again, he doesn't do anything meaningful because he's a side character. Like, he has his separate campaign in the DLC of Heroes of Might and Magic 6, where he's actually the main character. I feel like it was better utilized in the ancient history because he was one of the reasons for why Sandro even became a threat. Sandro manipulated Crag Hack in order to kill his enemy, in order to kill Sandro's enemies, and then regain a combination artifact that would allow him to pretty much just become a undead king and can raise an entire army to fight for him. And then we also have the biggest character assassination out of all the characters. My goodness. We have Lord Hart. What did they do to you? So Lord Hart is in the original timeline. I don't like saying in the original timeline, but I feel like I need to give you context for why I feel like this. In the original timeline, Lord Hart was a valiant knight, in quotations. He looks like the most noble person out of every person in the army. During Heroes of Might and Magic 1 through 3, he looks like one of the most noble people. But there has been speculation and rumors that he's secretly in contact with a necromantic cult, which turns out to be true. And what is it that one of the things that Lord Hart does. Lord Hart assassinates the king. Lord Hart assassinates the king, and I feel like he tries to take over the throne, if I remember correctly, because I'm not scripting this shit. And he started an entire goddamn war because of it. Because he decided to assassinate the king. He started the Restoration War, which is one of the biggest parts of Heroes of Might and Magic 3. And what is it that Lord Hart is in the new timeline? He's a valiant knight, he's noble, he's loyal, he defends children from starvation. What the fuck, man? This is legitimately a character assassination, because he's literally the total opposite of what he is in the original timeline. You might think that the reason for why is because they want to push their new characters, which I get that. I get that you want to push newer characters, but like, I feel like they could have just done that. Push new characters. Don't bring up fan favorite characters and ruin what made them special. Onto my third reason for why I am not the biggest fan. It's just that I feel like the charm of Might and Magic is just gone. Like, looking at Might and Magic, looking at Heroes of Might and Magic 5, Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, and all those games, what type of Easter eggs are there even in the game anymore? What is the fun, geeky elements that used to be in Might and Magic? Like, one of the things that I really enjoy is that in Might and Magic 6, which I consider to be my favorite, they added in a 1-to-1 replica of their office as an Easter egg, because they also made their boss into a goblin that you can kill. Like, that is really fucking charming. Like, that is the type of geeky things that I like from the Might and Magic series. Comparing what charm there is to the Ubisoft continuity of Might and Magic, there's really only one game that actually gives the game's charm. Like, it doesn't feel like generic fantasy trope. And it actually gives the characters a personality a bit. Might and Magic Clash of Heroes, the game for the Nintendo DS. In that game, Isabelle is my favorite character, despite she's horribly generic in Heroes of Might and Magic 5. Like, it's horribly generic. She's just a fucking succubus she's a former human that turned into a succubus for some reason. I don't even think it is said what specifically turned her into succubus. In Might and Magic Clash of Heroes, they actually added personality to Isabelle, which I can appreciate because the characters are not that charming. They try to take themselves as serious as possible. But yeah, so I feel like just the nerdy charm or geeky charm of the older games is just kind of vanished with the newer games. Because in the first games, or in the older games, a lot of passion went into the games, whilst in the newer ones, it's just because it sold well. I think this is going to be my last reasoning for why. Like, I feel like it's a very big problem, and it's just that they wrote the story backwards. They wrote the timeline backwards. Like, the first two games that they decided to release that isn't on mobile, it is the lead up to a Doomsday Prophecy, and then the second game they release is the playthrough of the Doomsday Prophecy. So one of the things that makes this a bad thing for me personally, because they are written into a corner. Each character in Heroes of Might and Magic 5 must be alive during the entire time period. For example, if they have an immortal character, if they introduce an immortal character into like Heroes of Might and Magic 8, and that takes place in like the third blood moon during that time period, but then that character cannot be alive because Heroes of Might and Magic 5, because that character doesn't make an appearance in Heroes of Might and Magic 5. And you might say, like, this character that is immortal, like, might be just in the background, which, yes, but like, I feel like that's just a bad limitation. It's just that this is a big problem, because they will always have to put into mind Heroes of Might and Magic 5, and this is my honest feelings about why I don't particularly am the biggest fan of the Ubisoft continuity. I'm not talking about that the games are bad, I'm just talking about in general terms. As talking about the games, I feel like that can be made into a video. It also is one of the things that I might want to talk about. I'm not gonna put in like and subscribe and that shit. This is just me making a rant.